Okay, good noon, Malacanang Press Corps. Happy Monday. Let's now have Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Salvador Panelo.
Good afternoon. Let me give you some info on the visit of the Prime Minister. Upon the invitation of the President, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir bin Mohammed will undertake an official visit to the Philippines from March 6 to 7. The official visit of the Prime Minister reciprocates President Duterte's visit to Malaysia, if you remember, last July of 2018. The President will welcome officially the Prime Minister at ceremonies to be held in Malacanang Palace on March 7th. The two leaders will hold a bilateral meeting and discuss cooperation in the political, economic, and people to people spheres and exchange views on topics of mutual importance. This is the first time that the Prime Minister will visit to the Philippines since he assumed his position again as the Prime Minister of Malaysia in 2018. During his previous term as Prime Minister, he undertook bilateral official visits in 1987 and 1994. I'm ready for your questions.
Rose Novenario.
Ay,
Rose,
good afternoon, sir.
afternoon.
Sir, sabi ni Presidente nung unang taon ng kanyang termino, 3 to 4 million lang yung drug addicts sa Pilipinas. Tapos ngayon, naging 7 million. Paano po, bakit dumami pa? Failure ba yung drug war? Ano ba yung dahilan nito? At patuloy po yung pagpasok ng illegal drugs sa bansa, hindi naman po nasasawatag. Halimbawa po yung 6.4 billion shabu sa customs, 6.8 billion shabu sa customs. Tapos yung mga naglulutangan na bricks of cocaine, ano ho yung hakbang ng gobyerno rito?
First thing, the President has already clarified that particular number of from 3 to 7 million. He said that the 3 million then was only confined to Metro Manila. And if you total it with the numbers in Visayas and Mindanao, it will be 7 million drug addicts. Now, with respect to the entry of certain prohibited drugs, you must remember that the Philippines is composed of hundreds of islands, and it's really difficult to stop the entries of all drugs. And it's not even sure whether the Philippines was just made a transshipment point or it was really intended for the Philippines. What is important is we were able to know and to get these items that gain entry into the Philippines.
Sir, another topic. Sir, bakit ini-encourage ng palasyo yung paglalabas ng listahan ng narco-politicians? Sa halip po na sampahan sila ng kaso kung vetted naman yung information, may mga sapat na ebidensya, bakit po hindi sampahan ng kaso sa halip na ibulgar sa publiko dahil yung mga nakalipas pong pagbubulgar sa narco-politicians, parang wala naman po naging matinding epekto sa kanilang political career. Diretso pa rin ho yung kanilang pag-upo sa pwesto.
Well, for one, filing a case is not that easy. You need documentary and testimonial evidence. Now, the idea of presenting a list by DILG and PDEA is to tell the electorate on the kind of candidates that they will choose from. And I think it will help them. Now, the fear that it may destroy the presumption of innocence, to my mind, there is a judicial remedy for that. If you feel that you've been libeled, you can always go to the courts.
So, itutuloy po yung paglalabas ng narco list.
That's the judgment call on the DILG chief and the PDEA.
Pero sabi po kasi ni Secretary Anyo, magpapaalam siya kay Presidente.
Well, the president, if you recall, had already released that list. So logically, he will not oppose that.
Thank you.
Okay, may follow-up. Marisol Halili.
Sir, just a clarification. Does it mean that you don't see any legal implications doon sa, just in case matuloy yung release ng narco list? Because as you said earlier, there's always the presumption of innocence. Hindi ba na-violate yun?
As I said, if you feel you're libeled, if you feel that your rights are violated, then you can go to the courts.
But don't you find it unfair, sir? Considering na hindi pa naman nahahatulan yung mga nandun sa list, assuming na hindi pa nahahatulan yung mga nandun sa list, and yet sasapubliko agad yung mga pangalan nila.
From the point of view of the voters, it will also be unfair if you do not tell them exactly your investigation relative to those involved in the drug industry. And if they're elected and then suddenly their place is contaminated with drugs, they will blame the government. Why didn't you tell us this? You've known this pala all the time. Hindi na. So, ibalansin natin.
But what if matapos yung election and then lumabas na yung mga pangalan or some of the names included in the narco list turned out to be innocent?
Oh, then they can file a case if they feel they've been libeled. Kaya nga tayo may batas eh.
Sige, thank you, sir.
May follow-up ka, Rose? Follow-up or other issue?
Sir,
Other-
sir, ano yun? Parang shame campaign na lang yung mas pabor yung Malacanang sa gano'n kaysa yung legal move.
Hindi, me as a lawyer, mas gusto ko yung ilabas ninyo yung pangalan ng kliyente ko para I can immediately respond to it at magawan ko ng paglilinis kung inosente man. At the same time, demanda kita.
Kasi po yung may mga pamilya po yung mga tao, halimbawa pong hindi naman po pala positive, nasira na yung reputasyon nila.
Kaya nga merong recourse sa courts para yung paninirang puri sa'yo, makompensate.
Follow-up. Christine.
Kasi you really have to balance yung duty ng gobyerno na pailam sa taong bayan. Yung kailangan malaman nila because under the Constitution, the right to information is enshrined. Tungkulin ng gobyerno din yun. At the same time, we have also the presumption of innocence. So,
Sir, but can the palace or the DILG give assurance that the narco list has been verified at the very least before you release it, sir?
well, definitely the palace will make it a point that the list submitted to it has been validated by the agency submitting the same. If you
Follow-up.
recall, yung mga listahan na binasa ni Presidente, isa lang ang nagreklamo na mali. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, si ano ba yun? Governors something? Oo. The rest, hindi naman eh. And the rest, napatunayan na totoo pala.
Okay, Joyce.
Sir, can the Malacanang guarantee that this list will not be used against or in favor of any particular candidates? Kasi I think ang worry ng candidates ngayon, it will be used, let's say for example, by those who are kalaban nila sa candidacy, and yun nga, negative campaigning against them.
Alam mo, sabi ko nga, they are judicial remedies. If I were the lawyer, and you're threatening to release the name of my client, I can file a case in court to stop you from so doing. Maraming recourses eh.
But sir, hindi ba the damage has been done already by merely exposing the list? Kahit sabihin mo meron silang legal remedy to counter the exposure nung list na yon, the damage has been done already?
Hindi pa nga. Kaya nga sinabi ko, kung ako abogado ng mga ilalagay nyo sa listahan, file na ako ng case sa court to stop you from releasing the same. Kasi I'm sure yung mga nandyan sa listahan, alam din nila yan eh. One way or another, they will know na nandun ang pangalan nila.
Paano, sir, nila malalaman na
O,
they are included
sa
in the
galing ng
list?
Pilipino, maniwala ka sa akin. Kayo nga, nauna pa kayong makaalam kung anong nangyayari sa palasyo kaya sa akin. Eh. Magaling tayo eh. There are many ways of knowing kung sino mga nandyan. Nalalaman ka agad nila eh. In fact, may tatawag sa akin, nasa listahan daw ako. Kung hindi ka naman involved, anong kinakatakot mo?
Paano, sir, yung mga hindi naman nakakaalam na kasama sila sa listahan? Paano sila mabibigyan ng opportunity to file a case or any document in
You
court
can
to
file
prevent?
either before or after naman. Eh. Again, the laws allow us to file cases in case our rights have been violated.
Okay, Virgil?
Sir, follow up lang, yung mga ni-release ni Pangulo noong 2016, would you know kung, yung narco list noong 2016, would you know kung nakasuhan na ba yun sila?
I will have to ask the PNP and the DOJ on that.
How about
Para
the narco
masigurado
general?
sila.
Yung mga narco general, sir. Kasi parang, ano na bang update sa kanila?
O hindi ba, ang dami na natanggal. Saka alam ko may
I mean,
mga,
cases like
hindi ko
criminal.
exactly alam kung sino ang na-demanda, but alam kong meron. I
Okay.
will give you a list. I will ask the PNP and DOJ.
Okay, Raymond and Rosalie?
Sir, sabi niyo unfair, mas unfair sa taong bayan o yung mga constituents kung hindi sila masabihan na yung kandidato sa kanilang lugar ay sangkot sa drugs. Eh di ba, mas alam nga ng mga constituents kung sino yung drug lord sa kanilang lugar, kung yung mayor nila o vice mayor nila o barangay captain. Alam nila, pero ibinoboto pa rin nila. Classic example, yung mga Espinosa, mga Paruhinog, still they win every elections before. So ibig sabihin na the knowing of something against the candidate is not enough for assurance na hindi boboto ng taong bayan.
At taong bayan pa rin ang namimili. Whether kriminal ang binubutuhan nila, sila pa rin ang mamimili niyan. Ang punto ng DILG sa PIDEA, basta tungkulin namin ipaalam sa inyo na ito ang aming investigation, ito ang nakuha namin. Nasa sa inyo na yan.
Yan nga sir, sa
In
yung
other words, huwag nyo kami sisihin.
balancing yung essence and the risk or the danger. Kasi di ba, dito nga sa Metro Manila, binuboto nga, convicted plunderer na, binuboto pa rin. So, di ba, kumbaga,
Well,
the choice of the people remains, pares na sa kanila pa rin eh. So, hindi effective yung pag-name names na sangkot sa ganito, ganyan, sa election.
ganun pa rin, yan ang tungkulin nila as far as they're concerned, that is their duty. Now, with respect dun sa mga lumalabas na mga hindi ka nais-nais na mga officials, alam nyo, ever since sinasabi ko na kaya nangyayari yan, kasi much of our electorate are not really that educated. Kulang sila sa aral din eh. Kulang sa formal education. Kaya ang mga kababayan natin, they're subject to one, intimidation. Number two, maraming mahihirap sa atin. Kailangan nila ng pera. Kaya may problema talaga tayo. Kaya ever since sinasabi ko, siguro papag-aralin muna natin lahat ng mga Pilipino. Mula prep hanggang college, libre. Kasi pag tayo mga edukado, I don't think iboboto natin yung alam nating either kapareho natin or mas magaling sa atin. Tayo, di ba? Pinipili natin yung magaling.
Sir, last point.
Kaya may problema tayo. Talaga may problema tayo sa choice. We have to go to the basic. Meanwhile, wala. Ganyan talaga ang kalagayan.
So, yung pagre-release ng DILG ng narco list nila ng mga candidates ay may basbas ng Pangulo.
Let's put it this way. The DILG and PIDEA thinks it is their duty, in fact, constitutional duty, to inform the voters on their investigation relative to the drug industry.
Last point, sir. Sabi nyo, the result of their investigation and vetting ng DILG yung results ng narco-list. Ano ginagawa nila? Di ba, motu proprio, pwede naman nilang suspend o sampahan muna ng kaso within the powers of the DILG secretary.
Hindi ba yan ang ginagawa nila? Yan nga ang ginagawa ni DILG chief. May mga na-suspende na, meron ng mga dinimanda. Yung mga iba naman, nangangalap pa sila ng ebidensya para mas malakas ang ebidensya pag ito'y isinampa na sa hukuman.
Okay, may follow-up? Maricel.
Sir, you mentioned earlier na kaya hindi masampahan ng kaso yung mga nasa list is because of lack of evidence. So if that's the case,
Hindi
isn't
naman
this...
lack, kung hindi baka kulang pa. Para mas malakas. Kasi kung probable cause lang, papasok. Kasi probable cause, ibig lang sabihin, maaaring ikaw ang gumawa ng krimen. Pero baka pagdating sa hukuman, madismiss.
So insufficient evidence.
Hindi.
Kaya hindi sila masampahan ng kaso.
Kulang ang ebidensya maging proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Sayang lang kung magpa-file ka.
But if that's the case, sir, isn't it an admission na in a way it's some of the names included in the narco list are not yet verified? Kasi if there's an insufficient evidence, meaning to say, hindi pa rin talaga proven.
Verified nga kasi may probable cause.
Mhm.
Iba yung proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
So kung hindi siya papasa na masampahan ng kaso before
Hindi,
the...
pwede siyang pumasang pagsampa mo ng kaso. Baka pagdating sa trial, sa tunay na labanan, maabsuelto. Kaya ayaw nila rin mapaya. But at the same, alam mo, mahalaga yung sinasabi ko na merong judicial remedy. If you feel na your rights are violated, maraming pwede kang gawin.
But if that's the case, sir, hindi ba yun just mere paninira of the names of the government officials involved or the candidates involved?
Hindi naman siguro. Kasi nga, the officials are risking also their liberties. Kasi pag napatunayan na siniraan lang nila, makukulong din naman sila. So, hindi mo rin sila masisisi. Ang feeling nila, duty nila yon. So, they're risking their liberties also.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, RJ?
Bilib nga ako sa kanila kasi given that presumption of innocence, given that pwede kang makulong, ilalabas pa rin nila. So, ibig sabihin, meron silang they are steadfast in their conviction na itong mga taong ito involved. Kaya I'm risking na my liberty, didemanda nyo ako kung gusto nyo. Parang ganun ang dating sa akin
Sir, will the government also file charges against them since you claim that all the information about these individuals in the list are also validated?
It's not the government who will file charges against
Mhm.
those who commit that
But who,
mistake.
sir?
Siyempre, hindi yung complainant, private
Si-
citizens. Kung sino yung siniraan mo. Kung sino, alam mo, nasira ikaw, RJ, kung naisama ka sa listahan at you feel na hindi naman totoo, ikaw magdidemanda, hindi ang gobyerno. Ang government will, on the basis of your evidence, will prosecute kung sino yung nirereklamo mo.
All right, but it's the government that will release the names of these individuals.
Not the government, the particular officials involved. Kaya nga, exactly. Hindi ba ang official naman, sino ba? Alam mo, ang crime is personal. It's not the government. Personal doon. Kaya nga, sinasabi ko, ang feeling nitong mga ito. Kaya nga, kuha nga sa kanila kung complainant yung siniraan mo, kung you feel na,
RJ?
No, sir. I mean, will the government, since you know that these individuals are involved in drugs, are you not
Siyempre,
going to file
of
charges
course,
against
you
them?
will. Di ba sabi ko
Okay.
na nga, may mga pinaila na, yung iba naman hindi pa may file kasi nangangalap pa ng ebidensya.
Mm.
Okay.
Sir, another topic.
Teka muna. Okay, sige.
Sir, more details on the visit of Mr. Mahathir Mohamad, sir. Will the issue on Sabah be tackled as well?
Hindi ko pa alam kung anong agenda. Alam ko lang may state dinner
But
sa Thursday.
is it possible for the president to discuss our claims on Sabah?
Oh, everything is possible naman when you meet a head of a state.
And do you think
Every
it's
issue
necessary
is
this time
open.
since we've not been talking about this for so long?
Kaya nga, everything is possible.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ace Romero. Microphone.
Secretary, in one of the president's speeches last night, he mentioned about calling the courts to guarantee that Ms. Wari would return to the country and face his charges. Can you
Calling the
elaborate on
courts.
Yes.
From what I gather, there has been conditions for his return. What I know is, inimpose sa kanya ng bail yata 950,000 pesos. Almost a million.
Parang it appears that parang ginagaranti niyang payagan nyo na siyang lumabas kasi I assure you babalik siya. And then, and then sinabi niya, tinawagan niya yung courts
Na
to assure them na babalik siya pag pinayagan siyang lumabas.
he
Siguro
assured the courts.
yes, sabi niya sa speech niya sa first event niya kagabi.
It means na he's confident, like me, I'm confident that my former client, Nur Miswari, will return. Hindi naman tatakas yun. Talagang gusto niyang maayos ang problema ng Mindanao.
Pero pwede bang gawin ng isang presidente yung tawagan yung judiciary? Hindi ba parang kakaiba yun?
Hindi,
Hindi ba
paano-
interference yun?
Paano ba yung sinabi niya? Baka hindi lang...
I talked to the police, I talked to the military and the court to allow him to go out, to leave the country. Yun yung quotes niya kagabi. He called the courts. He talked to the court. Hindi ba interference yun ng executive sa judiciary?
Pero hindi ba di ba Miswari was already allowed?
Ito yung quote niya, Sek, babasahin ko. Kinausap ko ang police, pati military, pati ang korte na palabasin muna siya. Ako ang nag-guarantee that he will come back.
Alam po ninyo. Alam po ninyo.
So, paano yun, Sek?
Ganito yun, no? The president, as head of state, is mandated to preserve and protect and to serve the people. Kung ang problema doon sa Mindanao ay nakasalalay sa isang tao, kagaya ni Miswari, na napakalaki ng impluensya at malaking grupo na maaaring magkaroon ng sigalot, tungkulin ng presidente na gawin ang lahat ng kanyang makakaya, persuasion, na tulungan, na kung yung pagbibigay ng layak temporarily kay Miswari makakatulong, palagay ko tungkulin ng presidente na ipaalam sa hukuman na makakatulong itong taong ito.
But don't you think it's inconsistent with separation of powers?
Ay, hindi naman. You know why? Ang tinatawag na interference, kung sinabing, palabasin mo yan. Kung baga, inuutos mo, namandahan mo, ibang usapan na. Pero kung kakausapin mo, sabi mo, alam nyo, kailangan natin itong taong ito, baka alam niya, bahala na kayo, basta as far as I'm concerned, I need this man to help us preserve peace in Mindanao. And it's a different story. Para kang nag-argue sa court kung anong pros and cons, kung palalabasin yan o hindi.
Hindi ba ito against or inconsistent sa sinabi niya na he never called anybody to interfere with the work of other
naman,
agencies?
Baka hindi siya mismo ang tumawag. Baka ang ibig niya sabihin
Ako, sabi niya, Sek.
ay hindi. Kung minsan pag sinabi mo ako, pwede namang ibang tao. What he's saying is, ang position niya dyan, mas gusto niya na makalabas si Miswari para pagbalik, maayos na yung problema sa Mindanao.
So nothing irregular with that?
I don't think so, kung persuasion lang naman Saka isa pa, I don't think the courts will allow itself to be coerced or intimidated by any person in this country. as a practicing lawyer, hindi pumapayag masyadong ano yung courts.
Salamat, Sec.
Nestor?
Sir, just a follow-up on the question. May I just quote the President in his speech in Basilan, sinabi niya, sir, and I quote, "Tinawagan ko yung mga well, of course, the authorities at sinabi ko, payagan mo na lang." That was the exact quote from the President. The meeting with Ms. Suarez happened on Monday night. The decision of the Sandigan Bayan third decision happened a day after the meeting of the President and Ms. Suarez. How will you explain this, sir?
Siguro pag sinabi niya tinawagan ko yung courts, baka he's referring to tinawagan niyo yung somebody na will relay the message to the courts, yung kanyang posisyon. I don't see anything wrong with that. Kung kailangan ng isang presidente na makiusap sa bawat sangay, and after all, itong tatlong sangay na ito ay dapat magtulungan para sa bansa natin. Hindi naman po pwede yung inflexible lang isang branch. Kung ang magiging consequence ng inflexibility ay kasiraan ng ating lahi. Siyempre, kailangan magtulungan din kayo. But it's a different story kung mamandohon mo ang isang sangay. Ay, ibang usapan na yan. That's interference.
Okay.
So, Secretary, the President will do this in some other cases if he believes or thinks that national interest is at stake.
Ay, kung persuasion lang, wala namang problema doon. Kung national interest. Parang ano yan eh. There are many ways naman kasi of presenting your position. You can express it verbally, nationwide. You can express it privately to other people para makarating sa dapat paratingan. There are many ways. Ang importante, it's his duty to preserve this country.
RJ?
Sir, if the President can arrange for Mr. Miswari...
He did not arrange for that. Let me correct you there. He did not
said
arrange.
that.
No. Sinasabi, kaya na nga pinapaliwanag ko na sa inyo na sinabi niya yung posisyon niya para makarating sa kinauukulan, para mapag-aralan nila ang wisdom ng kanyang sinasabi na makakatulong sa bansa. But he did not arrange.
Is that your
Again,
Is that your opinion, sir,
No.
or...
No, I'm telling you, yan ang realidad. The courts will not allow themselves to be intimidated, coerced, or commanded or directed by any branch of this government.
But
You can only tell us your position and then we will evaluate. Yan ang mga sangay.
But you have not even talked to the President yet, sir, to
Oh, I did.
clarify his
I already
statement. You
did.
did? When, sir?
Tagal. Nung isang araw pa kami nag-uusap tungkol niya, pinag-usapan na namin
What
yan.
did he say? What was his
Ang
explanation?
posisyon niya is makakatulong sa atin kung si Ms. Suarez makalabas. Kasi babalik naman yan.
All right, sir. Sir, does the palace still believe Mr. Miswari still have authority or influence in
Oh,
Mindanao?
definitely.
To what extent?
Oh, alam mo si Ms. Suarez is the MNLF. MNLF is a huge organization. I've seen myself how big the MNLF is. When I was the lawyer for Ms. Suarez, I went to the hills of Sulu, Hulu. Nakita kong gano'ng kalaki ng puwersa talaga nila. In fact, I delivered a speech, I remember kung how many years ago in Davao, 15,000 people armed. Ang laki nila, malaking puwersa yun. At saka, if you talk to the Muslims in Mindanao, talagang kinikilala nila si Ms. Suarez as the head.
Thank you, sir.
Question MPC? Other issue? Okay. Ace?
Sec, ito na lang, clarification. So ano yung mga instances na gagawin uli ng Pangulo yung ganun? Nabanggit niyo isa yung preserving and protecting the people. So ano pa yung ibang instances?
Yun lang. Yun ang kasi tungkulin ng presidente yun. Yun
So
lang.
yun lang yung magiging condition na gagawin niya yun ulit to call the courts kung it would mean securing or protecting yung Filipino.
Gaya na sinabi ko, yung to call the courts, parang to call the attention of the court to his position on the matter so that it can be evaluated by the courts. Kasi if it means the survival of this country, then the president should do everything in his persuasive power to convince other branches na itong mas magandang lakad yan. But still, ultimately, it's the other branches that will decide for themselves.
But can it be done formally? Alam mo, mag-file ka ng petition or
No, that is to be done by the lawyers, not the president or the other branch. Nasa ano na yun. What the lawyer can do is to petition the court and to argue that even the president is favoring this position for his release. You can use the position of the president. It may be persuasive to the courts.
so kung pwede namang formal pala, anong value added ng the president using his
De,
persuasion?
Kasi pag yung si Miswari, nalaman niya ang posisyon ng presidente, then his lawyer can use that in the formal petition.
Okay, thank you, Sec.
Nestor?
Sir, just to clarify, because you mentioned that the president did not make some arrangement, but taking from his words during the convention of League of Municipalities in Manila last week, he mentioned, and I quote, "He was not allowed by the court to go out because he has pending charges when he was armed. So I had to make some arrangements." It was from the president himself who said that he made some arrangement.
Gaya nga ng sinabi, yung arrangement na yon, yun ang tinatawag na in-express niya yung position niya on the validity or rather on the mas magandang pagkakataon na si Miswari makalabas.
So the president made some arrangements.
Yung arrangement na sinabi niya yung posisyon niya. So to other people, and other people will let the courts know his position. And the lawyers, kasi kung ako yung lawyer ni Miswari at narinig ko ang posisyon ng presidente na pabor sa kliyente ko, gagamitin ko yun. And I will use that because pag tinanong si presidente, halimbawa, kasi alam mo, mga Pilipino, kahit yung mga courts, they will not call the president himself. But there are ways by which you will know, ano ba thinking ni presidente nito? Pakitanong mo. Totoo ba yung sinasabi nitong abogado to? Pabor ba ito sa atin? Ano ba? Ganun tayo mag-operate dito sa bansa. Hindi frontal.
So
Ang
para
mahalaga, sa kabutihan ng interes ng bansa. At hindi mo talagang diretsang pinakikialaman ang desisyon ng isang hukuman. Pinapabayaan mo sila. You provide them with inputs, and then let them evaluate. And I think, given that considerations, kaya nila inano si Nur Miswari, pinalabas. Pero babalik yun. Walang paduda-duda sa akin, babalik.
So para malinaw lang sir, hindi niya tinawagan ng judge o ang Sandigan Bayan.
Definitely. Hindi nga kami tinatawagan eh. Hindi nga tinatawagan ng mga branches na yung pang ibang sangay, lalo na.
RJ?
So, sir, suppose we take your statement that the president did not make any arrangements for Mr. Miswari. Do you agree, sir, that it's wrong? Suppose that we take your statement that it's true that he did not make any arrangements for Mr. Miswari.
It's
So,
not wrong,
you
man.
agree that it's wrong for a president
No,
to
it's
make arrangements with the court?
What do you mean arrangement? Yung mag-uusap sila ng course, mag-decide sila?
Asking the court, palabasin nyo yan, pwede
Ay,
siyang magbiyahe.
unang-una-
Although he has pending
unang-una,
charges.
the president will not do that. Pangalawa, kung magiging ganyan ang senaryo mo, that is interference.
Mhm. So it's wrong.
Kung interference, hindi na tama yun. Pero
Mm.
sinasabi ko nga, walang arrangement na gano'n. Hindi niya kinausap kahit na sino dyan sa
Alright.
Sandigan Bayan.
But you agree that interference is wrong, it's illegal, it's inappropriate for a president.
The president
that.
says so himself. He will not interfere because
Okay.
that is not his style.
And you deny that the president said that he made arrangements for Mr.
No.
Miswari.
Ini-explain ko sa inyo yung arrangement pwedeng nasabihan niya, yung ibang tao, nakarating sa hukuman, at yung hukuman naman, in-evaluate yung narinig nila. But I think your question should be directed to the Sandigan Bayan justices. Kasi sila lang makakasagot sa inyo kung tinawagan sila ni Presidente, binanduhan ba sila ni Presidente.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. No more questions? Joyce. Other issue na tayo, ha?
Sir, with regard to the members of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority, there is a report saying that there are some who already took oath as members of BTA but were not included in the final list, at least of the appointees.
Ang
That
alam ko
was
isa lang.
si Professor Sevilla.
Kasi Miss Arlene,
Oo.
di ba?
Yeah. She expressed disappointment and confusion that her name was not included. So, paano po ba pumili si President Duterte ng members of the BTA?
I gather from General Galvez, mukhang nagkaroon lang ng mistake. Parang nagkamali lang yata karoon ng mix-up.
Bakit, sir, nagkaroon pa ng gano'n? I mean,
I
why
think you
was
will have to
there...
direct your question to General Galvez kasi siya ang head ng...
Yes, sir. Paano na lang pinili ni President Duterte yung members of the BTA? Kasi he himself mentioned that there were last-minute changes. That's why he was late. So, paano po ba pinili ni President Duterte? Bakit may mga nasama sa oath-taking pero hindi naman pala sila kasama sa final list?
Kasi nga yung nagkaroon ng mix-up yata, merong initial na sinubmit ng ganitong so many in the list. Pagkatapos merong tinanggal sa listahan, apparently yung tinanggal, hindi natanggal dun sa final listing, kaya nagkaroon ng mix-up.
You think, sir, yung apology, kasi sabi ni Secretary Galvez, they will issue an apology to the professor. Is it enough to remedy?
Naki ano yun? Naki Miss Sevilla yun. Kasi siya ang subject.
Pero the Malacanang, sir, will you not issue a separate apology given na si President Duterte ang, namili?
Hindi naman, dahil kung depende kasi, si General Galvez nga ang nagsasabi na I will assume responsibility for this mix-up. Kausap ko siya kahapon, yun ang sabi niya sa akin.
Since, sir, inamin nyo na there was a mix-up, hindi po ba minadali yung process of choosing those who will be part of the BTA?
Hindi naman. Matagal na yata yung mga listahan. Alam mo, pag nag-a-apply yung mga tao, matagal pa yan nag-a-apply. Maraming vetting, may pinag-aaralan din nila yan. 80 yata ang, is it 80 yata, 80. So marami nag-apply. Matagal din ang vetting. I don't think na within a week lang ginawa nila. Matagal na yan.
So, sir, sino dapat ang managot? Or
Well, he already assumed responsibility. General Galvez,
Okay.
sabi niya, I assume responsibility for the mix-up.
Okay, no more question. Joseph, magla-last question na tayo kay Joseph. Okay.
So there's a report, I think from the Inquirer, no, na some of our fishermen are being turned away from some of the sandbars near Pag-asa Islands. First question, is this correct, that China or the Chinese vessels are turning away our fishermen from our own area that is within our EEZ?
I will need to validate that from the Secretary of National Defense.
But sir, theoretically, if that is verified, do you think that that is correct?
Driving away our fishermen?
Yes.
Oh, certainly it's not correct.
Because
That is our area. We, from the very start, we said that that's ours. And our fishermen have been doing that.
What?
Our fishermen have been fishing there. So nobody has the right to drive our fishermen away.
sir,
But we'll have to validate that. Hindi pa natin alam yun.
there have been reports in the past, sir, that there's an increase. Remember, we discussed this before, no? Yung mga Chinese vessels in the area, but they may not be fishing. But, stationary lang dyan, and these are paramilitary forces. And in fact, there's a report, no, from the CSIS that, can I quote, a different kind of fishing fleet, one engaged in paramilitary work on behalf of the state, meaning China, rather than the commercial enterprise of fishing, has emerged as the largest force in the Spratlys. What do you think of those vessels, sir? Are they really just honest-to-goodness fishermen?
I will have to validate that particular info from the Secretary of National Defense. Hindi ko alam yun.
Is it not a cause for concern, sir, that there are alleged, fishermen, but they are working for the government as a paramilitary forces.
If the Secretary of National Defense says it should be a cause of concern, then it is a cause of concern. I haven't heard him say that.
All right, sir. No need to protest if it's true.
I will leave it to the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's his turf.
Okay, sir. Shift tayong topic, okay lang?
Hmm?
Sir, yes, shift tayong topic, sir. Sir, kahapon si Presidente, for the first time, medyo criticize niya, no? Well, not medyo, but criticize niya yung Ocho Derecho. And he said, Ocho Derecho sa impyerno. That's how he he
Mga naman
crafted.
nagpapatawa lang yung mama.
You think? Nagpapatawa lang siya, sir?
Oh, alam mo naman, palagi naman nagpapatawa yun pagdating niya sa mga ganyan.
So, sir, yung criticism, hindi talaga siya dapat seryosohin? Ganun ba yan? I'll give you an example based on...
Criticize niya, pero ibig sabihin yung may impyerno, patawa lang yun.
Okay, sir. I'll cite examples, no? As written by Bril Lopez. I don't see that. Sir, game. Erin Danyada, left, and proud sila dyan sa left. They think it's popular. Kita mo, kakapal na muka. Nagawa pa ng ticket, Ocho Derecho. Sino ba to? Si Mar. Hambugero man ito. Sabi ko, tama ka na, Mar. Yaya ka lang? Ewan ko kung gawin yung senador. Wala na ito. Napakita na niya. Kung yung kumpanya ipinakita niya na the best niya, whatever. Next, si Jokno. Shell. You know him, no? Kalayo niya sa tatay niya. Yung si W. Jokno, yun ang kuyaw. Pero ito, wala ito. Tingnan mo magsalita. Wala kan. Well, this is the president counter-campaigning.
You must remember that the president has his own candidates.
Correct.
And under the law, he can endorse or campaign against. So there's nothing wrong as far as I'm concerned. He's doing his
What?
feel.
Your?
Feel.
Feel.
Ang feel niya, hindi karapat dapat itong mga kalaban ng kandidato niya. Ano namang masama doon? Lahat naman, kung yung mga senador sa kabila, binabanatan din siya. Ganun talaga yung eleksyon.
Okay, no more questions. MPC?
Hindi naman na-threaten yung... Hindi naman siya...
Threaten sino?
Well, the admin. I mean, does he have to do that?
Which one?
The criticism. I mean...
Abay, nangangampanya ka. Di syempre, mangangantsaw ka rin sa kabila. Kung nangangampanya ka
Okay.
kanya-kanyang kampanya naman yan.
Alright, sige.
Okay, last. Ace.
Follow up lang. So, nakita namin si Presidente may listahan eh. Apparently, binigyan siya ng listahan nung Otso Diretso and then iniisa-isa niya kagabi. Is this the new campaign strategy of the admin slate?
Wala namang strategy si Presidente. Si Presidente is very... Hindi niyo ba napapansin, he's a very frank person. Kung ano siya, hindi siya... Hindi random kung hindi... Ang personality niya ganun. Walang script. Nothing.
So, pwedeng spur of the moment lang.
Kung ano yung nasa puso niya, ilalabas niya.
May listahan
Kung ano
eh. Kasi,
siguro yung lista para makita niya kung sino yung... para maalala niya sino mga kalaban ng mga
do you have
kandidato.
any info if whether he was asked to do that?
Wala ako dun eh.
Wala.
Hindi ko alam.
Okay. Salamat, Sec.
Okay, thank you, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential
you.
Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Salamat.
Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.